Go. All right. So I don't have a whole lot of pull request updates this week. There's some, but not too many. Okay. So closed. Uh, this one that I had reviewed for Kifu, he saw that our changes to the RocksDB LRU cache, our own implementation of it, essentially. So it's really just their LRU cache with some modifications. Did not function with the new version of RocksDB. They changed the interface a little bit. So he fixed it. I tested it. It worked well. Everything looked fairly sane. So we did merge that. The only thing that I don't like is that the reason we did this is because there was a maintainer for some distribution that wanted to compile Ceph with the newest version of RocksDB rather than the one that we've tested. And I kind of complained about this in the PR and complained about it on the mailing list, the Ceph maintainers mailing list. It's a little scary that we may have maintainers, especially compiling Ceph with the newest version of RocksDB. It's fine if it's just experimentation, seeing if it works, seeing if it improves things in some way. We really don't want users doing that, though. We've gotten burned in the past by changes to RocksDB that needed to be reverted, or just ones that changed behavior that we didn't understand at the time. So I don't know what the status is for Fedora or other kind of more bleeding edge distributions. The Ubuntu guys got back to us and said they don't do this, and the who was it? One of the other groups also said that Proxmox, I think maybe, so that they don't do it. But it'd be good to know if any of the other distributions are using kind of a system level or a bleeding edge RocksDB distribution, and probably we should discourage that. So anyway, that was that PR. It's fine in and of itself, but it maybe brings up questions that we need to answer. Updated PRs. I think this RGW OSD compression bypass, Casey said it looked good last week. Looks like maybe it's been rebased again, but I think I got the impression that that's really close to being merged and should be in pretty good shape. BlueFS fine-grained locking. Adam, it looks like that's been updated and Sage reviewed it, but his review looked like it was generally just a small changes, right?
I don't really count this as a review. It's just he just looked, saw something, commented. I don't think he's seen entirety of it. That's much too few errors he pointed out to actually review.
Well, see, I saw that and I was very optimistic. I was like, oh, he only commented on these couple, not the whole. So I don't know. We'll see, I guess, right?
Yeah. And the problem is that I guess we need that PR to fix other problems, so we should review that sooner or later.
Maybe we should try to. I mean, Adam, what do you think? Should we try to go see if we can convince Igor to go through this?
We could review that, but even if I don't want to merge it yet, not at least until we fix the problems related to Gabi, that we think that's related to Gabi Nokalunbi PR, because that will be too much. They both might have a very delicate side effects, so difficult to find.
Yeah, that's understandable. Okay, that sounds good. All right, what else we got? Another one from you, Adam. Incremental update mode for BlueFS. Looks like that's in testing now.
Yes, that's in testing. There was an error. It had to be updated. Yep. More testing must ensure.
Good deal. Oh, right. This TTL Cash implementation for the manager module. Niha, they've requested a review from you. I don't know if you saw it or not, but they
Yeah, I
wanted
looked
to.
at it. Yeah, I looked at it last time. I think it was failing make check. I did point that out. I think now they've fixed it. It might be time for me to take a look again.
Yeah, I think they had a couple of questions too, whether or not this was useful or sufficient for what might be helpful on your end. So
Okay,
yeah,
I'll take a look.
cool. All right, let's see. Last one I have in my updated list is Igor's PG removal optimization. It looks like there was some additional review and testing there. Adam, I think you had maybe noticed like a small thing in that PR that needed to be changed. Um, and there was some discussion there about whether or not the same thing can be done for hard drives rather in addition to SSDs. But I think the general feeling was that it's not really good to encourage people to run RocksDB on hard drives anyway, so it may not be worth spending a lot of time optimizing for that use case. All right. Let's,
Yes, but as far as I remember, the issue was that there was some crossover because the question for whether this is SSD or spinner was related to block device and not for the device that RocksDB is running on.
oh,
That
okay.
I
I might
think
have.
was the issue. I
Okay,
mean, that was some time ago, but that's what I took from the code and the discussion.
I see. I may have misinterpreted that then. I thought that the thought was that it was optimization on the with RocksDB on hard drive. But maybe I'm wrong. Um, Okay, well, in any event, a little bit more of review and discussion on that. I don't know if the test failures ever were resolved or not. I think that's maybe the next
Yeah,
question on that there.
the last time it was tested, it was failing test. So I think it's time for Ego to review those.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Lots of stuff in the no movement column. Some of the new MDS stuff already needs a rebase, unfortunately, from Zhang. So we'll just have to see if he can keep up on those. Cache binning rebase, I'm working on that now in a separate branch. I was able to rebase on top of master without a whole ton of work. I had done a rebase like 6 or 8 months ago or something. So it hasn't been too bad to rebase that again. I'm trying to go through some more extensive testing now on that, since now I have a way to much more aggressively test OMAP. I can kind of alternate between heavy O-node testing and heavy OMAP testing, which is, I think, where we will see the biggest benefit from that PR, if we see a benefit. Let's see what else. Not a whole lot of other things. Again, the subtree map from journal update for the MDS needs a rebase again. I think the RGW team are working on this shared object catch PR, including it maybe in a bunch of other fixes. So that's just kind of sitting there right now. I don't think I need to do anything on that. What else? My memstore cleanup PR is sitting there, but I don't think anyone cares about it. It's not super important, so we'll get to that, I guess, when we get to it. Yeah, that's kind of about it for right now. All right. I don't really have a whole lot of discussion topics this week. I'm personally just working on this age binning PR, which I'll have more to talk about at some point, but not right now. So maybe I'll open it up. Are there any pull requests or any projects that people would like to discuss this week at the meeting? If not, that's okay too. Then the only other thing I'll remind folks is that next week we are going to discuss the paper that Josh found for us about re-architecting the Linux storage stack. I will post the link in the chat window here. So next week is everyone now can rush in 6 days to read this and be ready for the meeting next week. And that's all I've got. So, any last minute concerns, questions, comments?
Mark, are you going to be asking questions? That's a good point that Laura has. Are you going to be asking questions?
Asking questions on the paper?
Yep.
Oh, not for me. I'll be waiting for Josh's analysis, and I'll go through the paper and then be excited to learn from other people on this. So no quiz, just do your best. That's the way it is with all of these papers usually, and then we'll see. Let's see. Josh, do you have any? Have you already read the paper? Out of curiosity.
No, not yet.
Okay.
Well,
Okay.
let's parts of it. I'll try to make sure Sam can see if Sam can join too. She likes to join these discussions.
Yes, and don't be worried about impressing me. Be worried about impressing Sam because he's the one that will task all of us with thinking more deeply about these kinds of things. So. All right. Well then, have an excellent week, everyone, and be ready for the paper next week, and we'll see you then.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Might be
Thank
good
you,
to
guys.
come to the
See
meeting
you
with
later.
like 3 takeaways from the paper or something. Just
What was it, Laura?
for discussion's sake, it might be good to come to the meeting with like 3 takeaways from the paper, or not, just to sort of like, these are 3 things I found from the paper that were interesting. I don't know. Might be good to move
sure.
the discussion that way.
Yeah, that's a reasonable take. In the past, I've done that kind of thing, and it's led me to usually be pessimistic, which I don't know if it's good or bad, but.
Yeah, I wanted to take that position of devil advocate and just criticize.
All right. Well then, yes, that's a good suggestion, Laura. Let's try it. We'll see what people come back with. Optional, of course, but
Yeah.
if you can, then think about what your takeaways from the paper are. All right. Have a great week, everyone. See you next week.
Too, Mark.
Thank you.
Bye.